Good morning. Today we are going to see classification using backpropagation method. So backpropagation is a neural network learning algorithm. So before moving to backpropagation method, we need to brief what is a neural network. So neural network is a set of connected input-output units in which each connection has a weight associated with it. So neural network actually mimics the human brain by learning from a training data set and applying the learning for classification and prediction. So here it is shown a simple model of neural network. So as we told, neural network is a set of connected input output units, and each connection will have a weight associated with it. So you can see in the symbol model of neural network, there is a set of inputs x1, x2, x3, etc., xn, and there will be a output. So in between input and output, we'll have the neural network main connections. So input is given to a set of weights W1, W2, W3, etc., Wn, and which is going to give you a summation unit called as sigma. And after that, this output is given to a threshold unit called as S. From there, we are getting the output. So a neural network consisting of a set of inputs and outputs connected through a set of weights. So the sigma is equal to, here I can sigma, which is called as the summation unit, that is equal to x into w, input into weight, that is x1 into w1 plus x2 into w2 plus x3 into w3, etc., xn into wn. That summation is applied to a threshold unit, then we'll get the output. So we can represent the output, y of output is equal to the threshold function or threshold unit, we can represent it as phi of sum. So phi, I can call it as an activation function. So the output is equal to, we are applying an activation function to the summation unit or to the sum. So more detailedly, we can represent a neural network in the following way. So a neural network mainly consisting of three layers: input layer, hidden layer, and output layer. A neural network mainly consisting of three layers: input layer, hidden layer, and output layer. So input layer will have the set of inputs. One, here it is shown as 1, 2, etc. I, it contains the input. And as we know, the output layer consisting of the set of outputs O1, O2, O3, etc., On. Now coming to hidden layer, based on the application, the neural network can have multiple number of hidden layers. Here in this example, it was shown two hidden layers, 1, 2, 3, etc., J, and another one is 1, 2, etc., K. Now all these units, input units, output units, hidden layers, everything is connected through a weights. So the input unit 1 is connected to the hidden layer 1 using W11, the weight. Again, input unit 1 to the hidden layer 2 is connected to W12, W13, etc. So this is the structure of a neural network consisting of an input layer, output layer, and hidden layers. And all these connections are associated with the weight. So actually this hidden layer is providing a non-linearity to the neural network. Now here we will see a small example of neural network. So taken one example, our previous example, in that according to that previous example, we have inputs like age, income, etc. So I'm taking age as 35, one input, income as 75,000 into another input, and normalizing that value, so 0.35 and 0.75, assigning a particular weight to the layers 0.9, 0.9 and 1.0. Now summation, calculating the sum, that means 0.35 into 0.9 plus 0.75 into 1, we'll get 1.065. This is the summation unit. Then the summation is applied to the activation factor 5, we'll get the output. The output will be the decision, what decision needs to be taken. So this is the example of a small neural network. So as we told, a neural network consisting of input layer, hidden layer and output layer. Now coming to the classification based on backpropagation. Coming to classification based on backpropagation. So to do classification using neural network, what we are doing is we are designing a particular neural network and randomly we are assigning the weights to the network, right? So randomly we are assigning the weights. So first we are constructing what are the input units we are having and what are the output units. So to do with the backpropagation method, first we need to go through the learning stage. So in learning stage of the classification, what we are doing is we'll have a set of training data. So using that training data, we'll construct a particular neural network with a set of inputs, hidden layers and a set of output. And with the training data, we will assign the weights to the edges. We'll assign the weights to all the edges in the network. And using the formulas, we will calculate the outputs and we will compare the output what we got and the actual output, right? So we'll compare the output what we got with our neural network, right? And what is the actual output in the training data. We'll compare the output, and if we are comparing the output, there is a large variation between the outputs what we got and what is the actual output. That indicates that we again need to backpropagate and we need to reassign the weights. Whatever the assigned value of weights in the initial step, we need to reassign the values. So again reassign the values and then again do the forward pass, again calculate the output, and that means again calculate the output and compare with the previous and compare with the actual output and the got output. Now here it is given. So what we are doing is we are constructing a particular model. How we are constructing this model? We are constructing the model based on the training data available. We are constructing the model based on the training data that is available. Based on the model, whatever we constructed, right? We calculate the error. Error is the it is given error is equal to 1/2 into actual minus prediction whole square. That means what is the actual output that we got that is there in the training data minus what is the output that we calculated. So this is the error. So that error is calculated. Now error is minimum, that indicates that our model is ready, we can use it for the prediction. If it is not there, then again we have to update the parameters. Update the parameters means again we need to reassign the weights. We need to reassign the weights and again we have to go through the process. So we know that any classification method will have two steps: model construction and model usage. So model construction is the learning stage. So here this is the learning stage actually, constructing the model based on the available data or available the training data. Then forward pass. Through the forward pass, we are calculating the output, and we are after calculating the output, actual output and calculated output we are comparing, and we are calculating the error. If error is minimum, model is ready. If error is not minimum, again we need to reassign the parameters. Again we need to reassign the weights. That is known as actually backward pass. So any back propagation method will have a forward pass and a backward pass, right? Any back propagation method will have a forward pass and backward pass. In forward pass, we are calculating the output, calculating the error. In the backward pass, what we are doing is we are reassigning the weights. Again, we are going to the forward pass until you will get a minimum error. So that is what is happening in the case of back propagation. So here we had given a one small example, right? So a model is constructed, right? This is a model. We'll apply some kind of training data. For example, age is equal to 35, income is equal to 75,000. Randomly we will assign two weights, 0.9 and 1.0. Then we will apply summation unit, then activation factor. We'll get one output. So output can be like whether he is going to buy a computer, etc. So this output and whatever the output we are having in the training data, both we are going to compare. If this output is not satisfactory or whatever the error we are getting is not minimum, that indicates we need to go for a backward pass. So we are going for a backward pass. Whatever the weights we are assigned, we need to reassign the weights in the backward pass. Then in that backward pass, after reassigning the weights, again we have to go for a forward pass. Again we have to calculate all these things. Again we'll get a new output and we need to compare it. So this is the classification method using the back propagation. Now we will see one example how to calculate the or how to do the back propagation. So here it is given. In you can see I1, I2, two inputs. This is the input layer, and hidden layers H1 and H2, two nodes in the hidden layer. Only one hidden layer we are considered here, and the hidden layer is having two nodes H1 and H2, and two outputs O1 and O2. Now apart from this, we are assigning biases also. Two bias, B1 is one bias and B2 is another bias, and always we are taking the bias value as 1. So now input value I1 is 0.5, I2 is 0.10, H1 here, H1 node, the value we need to calculate, H2 also hidden layer value we need to calculate. Now O1, output 1 is 0.1 and output 2 is 0.99. Now randomly we will assign all these weights, W1, W2, W3, W4, etc. All these values we need to randomly assign. Then we need to calculate O1 and O2. So we are assigning W1 as 0.15, W2 0.20, W3 0.24, and W4 0.30. Similarly, W5 0.40, W6 0.45, W7 0.50. In a similar way, we need to assign the weight values for this bias also. Here it is given by 0.35 and 0.60. Now we are going to calculate. So we are going to do the forward pass. We need to calculate the summation, that is I1 into W1, etc. So that we need to calculate H1 and H2. So in the forward pass, first we need to calculate H1. Then we need to calculate H2. So we will see how to calculate H1. So I'm representing H1 here, it as net H1. Okay. So net H1 is equal to W1 I1. See, this is the way to calculate. H1 net H1 is equal to I1 is coming to H1. Similarly, this I2 is coming to H1, and this B1 is also coming to H1. So W1 into I1 plus W2 into I2 plus this B1 into 0.34. The weight is assigned to that particular node as 0.25 into 0.25. This is the way to calculate H1. W1 I1 plus W2 I2 plus B1 into 1. So 0.5 into 0.15 into 0.55 plus 0.20 into 0.10 plus 0.35 into 1 is equal to 0.3775. Right? In a similar way, we need to calculate H2 also. So what are the nodes coming to H2? What are the edges coming to H2? I1 into W3, then I2 into W4, again B1 into 1. So W3 into I1, W4 into I2, B1 into 1. So substitute all the values, we will get 0.505. Now, whatever the net H1 and net H2 we got it, we need to squash it. Whatever the values we got, net H1 and net H2, we need to squash those values. For squashing purpose, we can make use of any functions. Here I used a logistic function to get the output. Squash it means we are going to make the value in a particular range. So here whatever the value you are getting for net H1 and net H2, I'm going to make it as in between 0 and 1. So that is known as actually squashing. So here for squashing purpose, you can use any functions. Here it is used logistic function to get the output. So the final output, out H1 is equal to, according to the logistic function, it is 1 divided by 1 plus e to the power minus net H1. So substitute the value of net H1, it is 0.3775. Substitute the value, you will get the final H1 or out H1 as 0.59326992. Similarly, out H2, the final H2 is equal to 1 divided by 1 plus e to the power minus net H2. That is 1 plus e to the power minus this value 505 is equal to 0.59688438. So this is the final H1 and H2. Now, so we calculated H1 and H2. Now we need to calculate O1 and O2. Okay, so how to calculate O1 and O2? What are the edges coming to O1 and O2? H1 into, if I'm taking O1, again I'm calling it as net O1. Net O1 is equal to H1 into W5 plus H2 into W6 and B2 into 1. So substitute all the values to get the net O1. So net O1 is equal to W5 into out H1 plus W6 into out H2, B2 into 1. Substitute all the values, you will get net O1 as 1.105905. Similarly, calculate net O2. So what are the edges coming to O2 is H1 into W7 plus H2 into W8 into B2 into 1. So substitute all the values. So out net O2 is, you will get 1.614921. Now similarly, what we did with the net H1, net H2, we calculated the out H1, out H2. In a similar way, net O1 and net O2 needs to be squashed and calculated out O1 and out O2. We can make use of the similar logistic function, the same logistic function, that is out O1 is equal to 1 divided by 1 plus e to the power minus net O1. So when you substitute the net O1 value, you will get out O1 is equal to 0.75136. Similarly, calculate out O2 also. So out O2 is equal to 1 divided by 1 plus e to the power minus net O2. So minus net O2 is 0.59688. Substitute that value. You will get out O2 as 0.77296. Right? So this is the calculated value of O1 and O2. So whatever we are doing now, whatever the procedure we described now, that is known as the forward pass. Right? So we calculated O1 and O2 as 0.75 and 0.77. But the actual value of O1 is 0.1 and 0.99. What we got is 0.75 and 0.77. So there is a variation, right? So what is the procedure now we did is known as the forward pass of back propagation. So forward pass, what we did is we calculated H1, H2, From H1, H2, we calculated O1 and O2. So now we need to calculate what is the error. Error can be calculated from this actual O1 and O2. Actual O1 and O2 is 0.1 and 0.99 and calculated O1 and O2. Sorry. Calculated O1 and O2 is 0.75, 136 and 0.77. Okay. Now calculate the error total. Error total is equal to sigma half 1 by 2 target minus output. So 1 by 2 into, we have two outputs, right? O1 and O2. So what is the target? What is the actual? Actual is 0.1, right? Minus what we got is 0.751361. Substitute all square plus 1 by 2 into, as per the diagram, it was 0.99 minus what we calculated is 0.7729 whole square. So calculate all these values, we'll get the error as 0.2983711109. So the error what we got is not the satisfactory value. So that indicates that the error is not satisfactory, which indicates that whatever the value we assigned for all these weights is not up to the mark. So we need to reassign the values. So what we did is, we are having a neural network based on the input data, right? Based on the input data, we have two input data, two output data. So based on all those data, we are having one particular neural network. And for all these W1, W2, W3, even B1, B2, for everything, we assigned a random weight values. Then we calculated the output and we compared with the actual output and the calculated output. So this much it is known as the forward pass. Now, whether to do a backward pass or not, for that we calculated the error. So error value is not minimum. Since error value is not minimum, we need to reassign the weight values. That means we need to reassign W1, W2, etc. Those values we need to reassign. So that process is happening in backward pass. Now we'll see what is happening in the case of backward pass. So in backward pass, we need to reassign each weight, whatever we assigned, and we need to reassign each bias also. So first we will see how to reassign the weights. So in how to update the weight. The equation is delta Wij is equal to L into error J OI, right? So where delta Wij is the change in the weight. That much change we are going to add in the weight. For example, the current weight for 1, if I'm taking the first one, this is I1. The weight assigned is W1. W1 is 0.15. Initial weight was 0.15. Now I am going to calculate delta of W1. Delta of W1 means a small change in the W1. So whatever the value I am getting, for example, if I am getting delta of W1 as 0.001, then I am going to add 0.15 plus 0.001. That will be my new weight. So delta W1 is actually the change in the weight. How much change you need to do in the weight. That is the delta W1. So how to calculate? L into error in that J into OI. So where L is actually a learning rate, that is a constant value. That value can be between 0 and 1. We can take any constant value in between 0 and 1 and it is known as the learning rate. So for example, suppose I wanted to change the weight as weight in W1. I wanted to change W11. So I is 1, J is 1. Delta of W11 is equal to L into error in J. how much error happened in that particular j. For example, j is 1. If I'm taking this value e of o1, how much error happened into what is the output you got? What is that output? Actual output. That will give you the wij. So whatever the wij value you got, you need to add it with the existing ij. That will be the new assigned weight. So like this for each weight, w1, w2, w3, etc. For all the weights, we need to apply this formula and we need to get the new weights. Now about bias. So how we are going to update the w value? In a similar way, we need to update the bias value also. We need to update the bias value also. So how to update the bias value? Again, delta of bj is equal to L into error in the j. So where delta is the how much change you need to add in the existing bias. So that is again learning rate into error in that particular node. So again bj is equal to bj. So in the backward pass, what is happening is you are updating each weight as well as you are updating the bias. Once that backward pass is over, what you have to do is again we need to update. Again we need to do the forward pass. So when you are applying the backward pass, you will be getting a new w1, w2, w3, w4, b1, etc. Now again, what is the procedure we did in the forward pass? The same procedure we need to do again. That means again calculate the net h1 and net h2, right? So from net h1 and net h2, calculate out h1 and out h2. Similarly, from the new W5, W6, W7 and B2, W8 and B2 values, again calculate net O1 and net O2 and final out O1 and out O2. Again using the actual value and the calculated value, calculate the error. If error is minimum, we can stop the procedure. If error is not minimum, again we have to do the same backward and forward passes. So if error is minimum, it indicates that your model is ready for the prediction, right? So that means model construction and model usage is over. Your model is ready for the prediction. Then you can apply various values and you can go for the prediction technique. Now we'll see another. Now we'll just see what is the efficiency of the backpropagation. So the whole process of backpropagation, we can before going to the efficiency, the whole process of the backpropagation, we can just summarize as that. First, initialize the weights to small random numbers associated with biases. Then propagate the inputs forwards by applying the activation function. Then propagate the error by updating weights and biases, and terminate the condition when error is very small. So these are the main steps that we were applying. And as I told, this is an example of small example of your neural network. Here input layer, weights, summation unit, our bias or activation function, and the output. Now we'll see what is the efficiency of the backpropagation method. So efficiency of backpropagation method, right? So you can see that it is taking many iterations based on the error value, right? Error value, it can take backward and forward passes, many iterations. So each iteration, it will take order of d into order of modulus of d into w, where modulus of d means how many tuples in your data, and w is the weights, right? Based on that, we can check the efficiency. Now one more thing what we can do with the backpropagation is sensitivity analysis we can do. Anyway, it assesses the impact that given input variable has on a network output. So sensitivity analysis we'll discuss in the other video. So hope that all of you understood about the backpropagation method. So backpropagation is a classification method. It is mainly used in the neural network learning algorithms. So backpropagation is mainly using in the neural network learning algorithms. So we are having two steps. One in a learning step. In the learning step, we are reassigning the weights and finalizing the model. Once the model is ready, we can go for the prediction. And as you know, the neural network, this is an example of neural network with a set of input layers, hidden layers, output layers, etc. So you can get different examples like this, and you can try all the forward passes and backward passes, and finally you can go for the prediction. Thank you.